everybody, it's Kelly the Christmas Elf, and I am so excited to see you guys again for the most wonderful time of the year, Christmas time. Oh, and we have such a treat for you guys tonight. Now, Bob and Sheri are still getting everything ready, but in their Christmas party, they're gonna have such things as special guest, 5 different gifts to be given away, and just between us elves, the big man's gonna make an appearance. Oh, I'm so excited. But I do have to go get back to work wrapping presents. So let's count it down. Are you guys ready? All right, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's
Love her. Welcome everybody. Oh,
yes.
Look at Mr. Center Stage there. That's the greatest hat I've ever seen in Christmas time. That is great, man.
And I think that's the very first Christmas sweater Lamar has ever owned.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Yeah.
And is that eggnog I see you drinking?
It is eggnog, and it is fantastic. I have been missing out on this all my life.
I told you were going to like it. I'm at Doc's house with Doc and Heather because Mercury retrograde. I have no modern technology at my house. We have a lot going on tonight, and I want to kick it off by telling everyone that we are giving away some big Bob and Sheri Christmas swag boxes. They are huge and loaded up with stuff, including jewelry from Landon Lacey Jewelry, a cat-themed pillow from Check Feather and Down, a couple of packages of scone mix from our bestie Veronica at the Scone Goddess, including the limited edition gingerbread scone mix. We've got a set of 5 children's books from Dina Bean Children's Books, and a guide to finding great books for kids, and a sampler pack of Needhams from Maine Needhams. And we've got how many of those to give away tonight, Heather? 5. Yay!
All right. Well done, Sheri. Well done.
Excellent.
You might hear some commotion right behind me here. You might be able to see some of the people. That is my wife Mary's book club. And they meet on Thursdays, and they are meeting tonight. Now, here's the thing. They've been reading because there are some military people in her book club, including a colonel. This woman is a colonel, retired. And they've been reading about World War II and Vietnam. And then it was Mary's turn to pick a book. And she picked a book that was spicy. Very, very spicy. So there's a whole theme going on with about 20 women back here about this spicy book. And they're eating things like Magic Mike meatballs. I'll just leave it at that.
Hey,
But
Bob.
they're going to come busting in here in just a little while, probably. But before that, we've got so much going on, don't we, Sheri?
Well, let me just say, Mary sent me a little video of the spread. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
Listen, my favorite might be the elf treats that she's got out there on the table. So
Right,
yes, we have so much for you. We have, we hope, a special visit from the big guy and the missus up at the North Pole. Jimmy Wayne is going to pop by and sing for you. Max has some letters to Santa from kids. And we want to shout out everyone that's joining us tonight, including I saw a couple of first timers on our happy hour. You picked a good one. And please behold Doc's Christmas tree. If you heard us talk about it on the show, the only ornament Doc had was Snoop right here. And Heather said, well, Doc, if we're going to do happy hour at your house, we got to get some balls up on that tree. And so throughout happy hour, Heather and Doc are going to decorate, and then we'll count it down and light the big tree.
All right. You know, if you have some children around your house, you might want to grab them right now if you're with us. And bring them by because Santa and Mrs. Claus are about to join us. And, you know, that might be kind of cool for kids to see. Maybe the first time if they didn't make it to the mall or wherever Santa is in your town, wherever the appearances are, that might be kind of cool. So grab them. It's going to be happening just a couple of minutes.
So Lamar, I would like you to tell everyone about your sweater because it's not just a Christmas sweater, it's multifunctional, I think.
I like to get as much use out of something as I can. So this is a llama. It's a Christmas llama, but you can't really see it. But right below his chin is a pocket like a kangaroo that will hold a beer. So when you're at the Christmas party and you're trying to eat with both hands, because I eat with both hands. I'm ambidextrous when it comes to eating. I got both hands going. So if I'm holding a beer, it slows down my shrimp eating and whatever. So I just tuck the beer in right there and go at it. So I really think I got a good deal on the sweater.
That's genius, because isn't it hard when you're going through a buffet line at a party to juggle your drink and your plate, right?
It's crazy.
Lamar, so clever. And tell us about your headpiece.
I found this, of all places, at the Walgreens, and it does 2 or 3 different things. Now, this is the fast pace. This is the slower pace.
Oh, yeah.
And if it starts to make people dizzy, we can just do this.
Oh,
so
my
I've got
gosh.
3 different ways to go with this.
Walgreens, where Christmas magic happens. But you know where Christmas magic really happens? That's at the North Pole at Santa's workshop. Let's head that way right now and see if we can grab a few minutes with Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus.
All right.
There they are.
Oh, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Santa.
Christmas!
Hi, Santa.
Hi, Santa. Hi, Mrs. Santa.
It's so very good to see you.
Your house looks just like I imagined it would. That is a beautiful tree. Are you getting excited? I mean, we're counting down now. What are we, 11 days till the big day?
We are so very busy.
Look at that fire. Look at that tree and the stockings. And I have to say, Santa and Mrs. Santa, you look so gorgeous tonight. Look at that red outfit Santa's got, especially right around the wrist. That is some beautiful outfit.
I love that.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So Santa, what's the nice naughty ratio this year? Do we have more on the naughty list or more on the nice list?
Well, the naughty list is growing every year, but it's offset by the 8.1 billion people on the planet.
Good.
Excellent. We need that sort of positivity. That's excellent. That's great. What Santa would you like to say to the children who are joining us right now?
I would say, put positivity into the world. Love one another. Be kind to one another. And live the Christmas spirit all year through.
Yes.
That is exactly right.
That's awesome.
That is so beautiful. That's
real Christmas magic. Yeah. Lamar, do you have a question for Santa? I mean, you look so festive. It's all Santa can do to not recruit you to be an elf.
If I've got anywhere close to the naughty list, I'm really sorry. I really am. And I have seen the error of my ways. So if I could get moved back over to the good list, that would be fantastic.
Well, the fact that you've been drinking eggnog says a lot.
I'm not sure which way that goes, but
Well, go ahead, Bob.
Santa, what is your favorite part of being Santa and Mrs. Claus? You jump in too. What's your favorite part of your jobs?
Well, my favorite part is getting to see all of the children smiling and happy and enjoying all of the toys. Now, I spend my time while Santa's out giving out all the toys, preparing for him to return. So I like to see Santa rest because he is very tired when he gets back. Indeed. So I do like to see the joy and excitement in his face when he returns after bringing all those presents to the children.
And a lot of men listening are going, ho, 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 what a wife.
You're a lucky man, Santa. You're a lucky man.
Indeed, I am.
Well, I know this is the busiest time of the year for Santa and Mrs. Santa and the elves and the workshop and the whole team in the North Pole. I know the reindeer are in training for the big night and we can't keep you, but I hear that you may have a little holiday greeting, a little toast for everybody with us on Happy Hour tonight.
Indeed, I do. Grab your beverages.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Moms and pops and children too, draw near, good news have I for you. A special message that you must hear. Well, it's the one you've waited for all year. Be filled with joy, be filled with cheer, for Christmas Day is very near. Salute.
Salute. I'll drink to
Salute.
that.
That was beautifully, beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry Christmas
Christmas.
to you all.
Lamar,
Be
I'll
safe.
send you a
Yeah.
link you can put
Yeah.
in to be an elf.
Bye.
Santa's
Good
on
luck.
LinkedIn, Lamar. It's great. You can get the gig.
Be
We'll see
careful.
you on Christmas Eve night, Santa.
Yep. Be safe out there.
Merry Christmas.
That was great. Oh, that was
That
just
was
fantastic.
great. I appreciate him taking the time because I know he's busy.
Yeah. I appreciate Heather running all of this stuff. This is like a big time production. Well done, Heather. All right. So how's the tree coming over there at Doc's house?
I think it's looking good. And I like the way you guys coordinated your ornaments with Snoop's outfit. Please
Yes.
note that, like how tasteful Doc's tree is. Everything's in red and white and black and silver, just like Snoop.
Yeah. You know, it was a funny thing. My father didn't do a whole lot of stuff around the house. My mom did most of it. And as a matter of fact, she was the only person who did anything around the house. But boy, oh boy, on Christmas Eve, when it came, or a few days before, when it came to decorating the tree, this guy was just so into it. He thought of himself as the Picasso of the pine trees. You know, I mean, it was like you had I'd sit there next to him and I'd watch him, and it was like he'd go up and he'd take this one ornament and he'd stand back and look at it, and then my mother would try to help out a little bit, and he would watch her and he'd go, "There's no depth. There's no depth, Mary. Put it deeper in there so there's depth to the tree." Now that was after 2 or 3 Jim Beams, but he was so happy that I just loved watching him do something outside of grinding on, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. It was just a wonderful period.
I used to watch.
I only saw dads do Christmas stuff on TV or in the movies. Like I never saw that. Like you, Bob, and Lamar even, I never saw that in my real life.
No.
You know, like a dad decorating or wrapping a gift or anything ever.
Now my dad would go out back when we had a real tree, and when I was a small child, there was no Christmas tree lots where I was at because everybody lived out in the country, and you just get the axe and a saw and take off down in the woods. And we always, what's the tree that has no shape whatsoever?
Like a cedar?
Yeah, cedar tree.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It just went straight up. That was it. It was straight up. No branches out. Just everything. All the branches went straight up. And me and him would go down in the woods and we'd walk around for a little bit. And he'd point at one and he'd say, "What do you think?" And he'd look on the backside and it'd have like a bad spot, a hole in it or whatever. So we couldn't get that. And once we found it, he'd start chopping. He'd get it chopped down. Then we'd saw it off at the thing. Once we brought it back, he would put it in the Christmas tree stand. And after that, he was done. And my mom did I helped her decorate. And when you talk about depth, my mom's biggest deal was don't put all the stuff on the outside. You got to get deep. You got to get down. You got to, get the lights down in there and more depth, but you had to do that. But her big deal was the tinsel. And Bob, I know you hate the tinsel.
I don't like it.
But when you got a cedar tree, there's nothing you can do to make it look any worse. The more you can cover it up, the better you can be with it. You know what I'm saying? And so, but she would take that stuff, one strand, and she would find a spot and she would toss it and let it flutter down. It would take hours, one string of tinsel at a time. And when she got through, it was just a bunch of silver and lights behind it, but we loved it.
So let me get this straight. A cedar tree is really not a Christmas tree. Can we all agree on that? I mean, it's a cousin.
It's unconventional.
Not now. It's not. Not now. People's got all these other kind of trees, but that's all we ever had was cedar trees.
So you weren't near anywhere that would have a spruce pine or something like that.
No. Nothing.
That would have been up in the Georgia mountains.
Yeah.
Where they grow them up there.
Yeah. And sometimes if we didn't find one out in the pasture, we'd get in the truck, drive down the road. And if we saw one that was out somewhere and there wasn't no house close by, we'd jump out and go chop it down.
Lamar, no, wait, listen. Until I was really an adult before I realized that there were Christmas tree farms that people drove to and paid to cut a Christmas tree down, because my people poached trees in the same way that they poached deer.
Yeah,
They would, like your family, they'd head out onto government land and look for a good tree and get it down and get it into the truck and get it back home. Like, this idea of a Christmas tree farm, I remember being gobsmacked by that the first time I learned those existed.
yeah.
So are you talking about when you were living in Wyoming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they would be all over the place, wouldn't they? Great trees.
But even there, the government, like, there's a lot of deer in Wyoming, and there are a lot of trees on the government land. And weirdly, even though there's so much, the government has kind of a salty attitude about you just going and taking whatever you please. Because after my parents split up, my Aunt Rosemary, Bob, she said there's nothing filthier than a tree. You think she was bringing that filth into the house? Artificial all the way. Absolutely fake trees all the way.
So Lamar, Sheri and I have talked over the years about, and it's kind of it's a Northeastern thing, but I think it's really a New Jersey thing, of a solid artificial tree that is solid white, generally accompanied by pink Christmas ornaments that all are the same. And it just has if you walk into a room, somebody's house, and it's the and it's the white tree with the pink balls, it's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, I kind of seen this before. This is really a commitment and a statement. In Georgia, did you know anybody that had a tree that was solid white like that?
No, but I had an uncle. That had money, and he lived uptown, and he had the silver Christmas tree with the light that went red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue. And I was amazed at that. It was a wheel. It was a wheel. Yeah, I was amazed at that. And I'm like, I told my mama one time, I said, "Can we get one of those?" She looked at me and she said, "They got money."
That's what rich people have. I wanted that too, Lamar, and I got the same answer. You got rotating color wheel money. So Max is joining us right now with Mojo.
This is
Cooper.
This is Cooper. Yeah.
Hi, Cooper.
This is Cooper.
Cooper, baby.
Hey, Cooper.
So sweet. Look at that face. So what are you going to do for us tonight?
I'm gonna read letters to Santa.
Oh, good.
So the first one, the first two that I have, Erica Wolf, who's on here, these are her children. This is from Aria. Dear Santa, I've been great this year. I would like an airplane. In addition to an airplane, a unicorn, Barbies, comma, a Barbie truck, comma, and a truck with more Barbies. And she says, I love you, Santa, and Merry Christmas. This is from her brother, Dallas. Erica, if I've gotten this wrong, I apologize. Now, I know Erica's your son, or Dallas is your son. So anyhow, Dallas says, I've been great this year. I would like 1,000 bucks. Robux? What is Robux? I don't know what that is. Roblox. Oh. I've had many of those in my year. In fact, Cindy bought me 1,000 of those in my life. He would also like a burrito blanket, new headphones, a headset stand, and a cool light. Have a Merry Christmas from Dallas.
A burrito blanket, is that a blanket that I guess you crawl into like you're in a burrito?
That would be my guess on
that. Yeah, that's very cool.
And it looks like a burrito. Like it's the design on it. Yeah.
This next one is, Dear Santa, Merry Christmas. Please bring presents. Please, Santa, bring me toys. I want cups, 3 puppies, a giraffe, a doctor, a PJ mask, puzzles and movies. Please bring Dad and Mommy coffee. Thank you very much. Love, Patrick.
Well, that's a
Listen.
sweet little thing there.
Yeah.
for
If
Dad and
Santa
Mom.
brings 3 puppies and a giraffe, Mommy and Daddy are going to need something stronger than coffee, Santa.
You're right about that.
Irish coffee.
So this
Yeah.
next one is from Harriet. She's this little girl says, for Christmas, I would like a seesaw, a teddy, and I'm guessing a teddy bear.
Yes.
And the last thing she would like is the 2 last things are a mushroom and broccoli.
I like a healthy child. I really do like a healthy child.
So this next person is Carter, and Carter he's listed it out under headings. So this is for his stocking. He wants earbuds, various food gift cards, a new watch, bouncy ball, PS5 games, and pencils, and surprises, and more protein powder.
He's working out.
That's just in his
kid.
That's just
Yeah.
in his stocking, Max.
He's going
Oh,
somewhere. I love
Now,
the
under
pencils.
actual gifts, the heading, he wants a new bed. He wants a PS5, a new football, solid dumbbells,
Yes, he
and
does.
a new bathrobe. This next
This kid's
one
gonna
is-
get swole. He's gonna get swole up. That's what he's going for.
Yeah.
This next one is less of a list and more of a question, a series of questions. Dear Santa, answer some questions for me, please. How old are you? Can you freeze time? How many elves do you have? How many cookies do you eat in a night? Do you have a zoo at the North Pole? And then next to it, it has like a little check mark, yes or no.
Oh, I love this.
Do you speak multiple languages? Well, of course, yes.
That's
How
interesting.
travel so
Yeah.
Sherry has explained this now a couple times on the show, how he travels so fast. Are you a professional gift wrapper?
Boy, this is a lot of. I like this. She thought
Have
a lot
you met
about
a
this.
unicorn? This unicorn keeps on showing up a lot in here. Thank you for all of answering my questions. Merry Christmas until next year. This next one is from Sarah. Sarah would like some Taylor Swift tickets.
Wouldn't we all, girl?
Also, some clothes from Nordstrom and a boyfriend.
Is Sarah 19 or
Sarah's 37, actually.
Dear Santa, how are you? I have been good. I want baby alive, bows for hair, and slime.
Okay.
Hey, listen, when you feed baby alive, the slime comes out the other side. It's,
Yeah.
Right.
It's a double dip, child. You're going to
Right.
get both.
Dear Santa, I flushed my brother's head in the toilet. Can I still have a puppy?
Which sounds responsible, so I'm sure she'd be okay to take care of a dog.
that's a young lady?
Santa.
She's going to end up at Dartmouth. You know what I mean? She's an Animal House person.
Dear Santa, my name is Tara. I'm almost 8. I would like a diary, also a new blanket for my brother Alec. I think it's always sweet when they ask for something for
Oh.
their
Yeah, it is.
brother.
That is
Can
very
you say
sweet.
hi to the reindeer for me? Because I've been good. I help my mom take the trash out. I clean my room, and I don't cry when I do my chores.
I
It's
still
impressive.
tear up a little bit when I do mine. So I
Do you really? Yeah.
How are you? I am good. Are you friends with God? I'd say yes on that. How
Yeah.
old are you? Are you okay? I mean, are you okay? What do you want for Christmas?
Well, that's sweet.
I would like some Legos, Pokemon DS game, a BB gun, Peace for All the World, and $25,000.
The specificity. World peace and 25K. I love this.
not
kid.
much to ask.
What's interesting is what these kids are concerned with. Like this one, dear Santa, please leave before 6 a.m. The alarm goes off at 6. By the way, my stocking is the one on the left. Love your friend Sam.
That's great. That's great.
Dear Santa, Merry Christmas. I love the presents you get me every year. I work so hard. I wish you could take a break. Oh, you work so hard. I wish you could take a break.
Oh.
I love this is Sky. P.S. I don't think you're fat.
Sky is buttering up Santa. That's
Yeah.
all that's
Yeah.
about.
This is great.
And Sky is going to have a very successful career.
In marketing.
These kids have
Yeah.
the personalities already.
Right.
Dear Santa, my name is Ella. I'm 8. I have a question for you. What happens if you get sick on Christmas Eve? Do you have like a backup Santa? Happy holidays. I only celebrate Christmas from Ella. P.S. Santa, how old are you? Because you've been around for generations.
You know,
A
that has
lot
been
of
the
these kids
consistent,
are
that's been
focused
the
on Santa's
consistent
age.
question, hasn't it
Yeah.
been? About
Yeah.
every third kid. Yeah.
Dear Santa and Rudolph, I hope there's enough Christmas spirit to make your sleigh work. Of course there will be. I hope you don't have too much whiskey. I hope Rudolph likes the carrots I left. I wish you the best day ever. Lots of love from Maya. This next one, I love this one. This boy wants Nerf bullets, socks, Nintendo, light for under the trampoline, an iPhone, sunglasses, my own room, a pillow made of memory foam, and of course, knives.
What kid?
To
What
protect-
kid wants a memory foam pillow? That to me is the strangest
It's a
item on
weird
that
thing. I
list.
remember last year we had that he and his brother wanted a gun, they wanted a knife, and they wanted leather gloves. That was my favorite. This next one is from Nicole. Dear Santa, I want an iPhone. Buy now. P.S. Get my sister a Panda or else. I don't believe in you or whatever. And then Santa wrote a note at the bottom of this letter and sent it back and said, Nicole, I believe in you. Love, Santa.
Oh,
Love that.
Beautiful. That's why he's Santa. Yeah.
This next Christmas list, this is baffling to me. This child wants a Christmas onesie, a shark onesie, Looney Tunes Converse. Not sure what that is.
Sneakers.
Okay.
Tux, yeah.
Legos. Oh, okay. Legos, LPs, blind bags. Do you know what that is, Sherry? Blind bags. I'm not
Blind
sure what
bag?
that is.
No.
The last thing on this list, and I swear it's written here on this list, this child wants his childhood back.
me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too. I want a do-over.
This next one is, Dear Santa, I gave you 2 cookies because I don't want you to get fat and I want you to be healthy. I don't like it when people call you fat. I'm not trying to say you're fat. I don't want to hurt your feelings, you know. Love, Sully. That's the last one.
Very
Hey,
nice.
Max,
Yeah.
Marianne Matheson said, you look so nice dressed up. She wants to know if you're wearing pants and shoes or if you're just waist up.
I'm wearing pants
There it is. Yeah.
and shoes.
Very nice. Very nice.
These are wingtips. So, answered that
Well
question.
done. Well done. Let's give him a round of
No,
applause.
we have one more.
Yay,
We have one
Max.
And the
We have
kids.
one more?
Very
I
entertaining.
thought you said we had one
No,
more.
no,
Is
that was the last one. No, that was the
okay,
last
good.
one.
Yay, great job,
Okay.
Max.
All right.
Good job.
Great
And Merry
job.
Christmas to you all, and thank you all so much that are on here tonight, and thank you for listening, and thank you for and there's this new podcast called True Weird Stuff that you might want to check out too.
Please do. Thank you, Santa. Good night, Max. We'll see you
Love you
tomorrow.
all. All right, see you
Be safe,
tomorrow.
brother.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
Love
once
you.
again, y'all, every comment counts as an entry. We have 5 giant holiday swag boxes. Jewelry from Land and Lacey Jewelry. We have scones, including gingerbread scone mix from the Scone Goddess. We have a cat-themed holiday pillow from Check Feather and Down. We have a sampler of Maine Needhams. We have 5 children's books from Dean and Bean Kids Books. We're loaded up with Bob and Sheri swag in there, including our Christmas ornament, which is sold out. So we can't even put those in
Yeah.
the store anymore. It's huge. Every comment counts as an entry.
People have been asking, who are these women behind me? That's my wife's book club. They're having a very special book club here tonight. They've been reading about World War II because one of the book club ladies is a retired colonel, and she had them reading about World War II. There was another one about Vietnam, so it's been very serious. And my wife selected a book that is, shall we say, spicy. So they all showed up. There's about, I don't know, 15, 16 of them there. And I can't even tell you about some of the decorations, but they're going to be busting in here in a little while. I don't know exactly when, to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. But that's what all the hoopla is. It's Mary's Book Club.
And we are at, for people that are asking, we're at Doc's house tonight. That's Doc right back there. This is Doc's beautiful Christmas tree. His only decoration had been Snoop, but Heather felt like we needed to get a few more things on there before we lit it. So this is Doc's Christmas tree, and standing by, getting ready to join us right now is our dear friend. It's not Christmas without him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for singer-songwriter and best-selling author Jimmy Wayne.
Yay.
Glad to
How
be
are you?
here. Glad to be here.
Merry
How you doing,
Christmas.
Jimmy?
Merry Christmas. I'm doing great. I just got back from Boise, Idaho.
I've been
Really?
watching. You've been all over the country lately.
All over. I was in Punta Gorda a few weeks ago, and then Connecticut, Texas. Oh, it's everywhere. But I'm not
Yeah.
complaining, just explaining.
Yeah. And Boise, Idaho, was it covered with snow?
The mountain was.
Yeah.
It was covered with Christmas lights and nice people, and I was
Yeah.
very honored to be there. We were there helping an organization that serves homeless kids. Homeless.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, last event of the year.
Fantastic.
You've had a
Yeah.
busy,
God bless.
busy run of those. Like, what's your favorite Christmas event you've done so far this year?
In Cowan, Tennessee, the chief of the police department there, he had this idea to collect toys. Alan Wilkinson is his name. He had an idea to collect Christmas toys and go door to door and deliver Christmas toys to every kid, regardless of their financial status, poor, wealthy, whatever, and give every kid a Christmas toy in that town. And he knocks on the door and hands the kid, he and Santa Claus, hands the toys to the kids right there. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of that and ride along with them. And it was just, wow, man, I'm telling you, it was just
I bet.
unbelievable.
So,
I bet.
how did those kids react? There's a knock on the door, and it's the sheriff and Santa. Like, what
Well-
did these kids do with this?
Well, one kid came out in his pajamas and he said, "Santa, what's up?" And one kid came out and she was just so shocked that he was standing in her yard. She couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when you see these kids run out of their trailers, I've been in those shoes, if you will, just poor, and they see Santa Claus standing in their trailer park. That's an amazing experience. How excited they are, and they run yelling Santa. It's unbelievable. So
Isn't that, you know what, that is something that will be a memory for their children,
Yes.
for those children, for the rest of their lives, because we can all look back on maybe we were lucky enough to have a really good Christmas one year, and you never
Mhm.
forget it. That is probably theirs if they're old enough to remember. How old were those kids that were running out? Do you remember?
probably some were maybe 4, maybe 7, maybe 12.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
oldest kid was like 13.
Yeah.
And some of their stories were just so incredibly sad. And, but just seeing that little bit of joy that, we could bring to them was just, that was the best Christmas experience I've had so far this year.
I just have to ask you, I'm from Connecticut. Where were you in Connecticut? Do you remember the town?
Oh, lovely Danbury and Waterbury.
Yeah. That is where my Aunt Jo lived, and I used to spend Christmas in that town, part of it anyway. So
tell
I
you
know.
what, I can't think of the name of the restaurant because it's one of those Italian names. But we had in Waterbury, we had some authentic Italian food,
Yeah.
and oh man, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great in that part of the
Jimmy.
world. Yeah.
We've had a couple of questions. So it was Cowan's, Tennessee, right?
Cowan,
We've had people that
Cowan.
said Cowan that they would like to help out next year. And then we just had a request. Is Jimmy going to tell my favorite story about his mom and the cross?
I knew it. I would love to share that story, and it's appropriate right now because the police is going by and the siren. You can probably hear it. When I was 9 years old, I was introduced to Vacation Bible School for the first time, and I didn't want to go because I thought church is where kids were beaten. And because at home, my mom she had 2 gears. She was on the, she'd drink alcohol, and it would just be chaotic, very dysfunctional. But when she got off the bottle, she got on her Jesus soapbox, and that's what I wrote in Walk the Beautiful. I refer to it as her Jesus soapbox because she got on her soapbox and everything was blasphemy and everything was a sign. And so she happened to be on her soapbox, and she made me go to this Vacation Bible School, and there was a teacher there teaching about Jesus being hung on a cross. And I tried my best to disrupt the class and get kicked out because I knew at any moment I was going to get whipped. But the teacher wouldn't have it. She just continued teaching, and she told us to thread this wire through these beads. And before I knew it, I had made a cross in the class, and I heard this story about this man that loved us so much he died on a cross for us. And then I ran home. It was about 2 or 3 blocks away from the church. I ran home as fast as I could. I ran in the backyard. I found some boards somewhere, and I made a cross out of wood in the backyard. I dug a hole, and I had tied some rope around the hand parts of this cross where his hands would have been nailed to the cross. And I dropped the cross down in this hole, and I stuck my hands in the hole in those like stirrups, and so I'm hanging there on this cross because I wanted to know how he felt, not physically but mentally. Like, what was he thinking when he was hanging there? I was so into it. I was so excited, and then as I'm hanging there, I decided, well, okay. And I tried to get my hands out of these rope loops, and I couldn't. And I looked up and I saw my mom looking through the kitchen window, and she kind of disappeared like it's like a horror film. And then next thing I know, she come running out the front door of the house, and I knew what she was thinking. She was thinking I was making fun of Jesus hanging on a cross. So I jumped up out of pulled that cross out of the hole in that ground, and I took off running. I've got this cross on my back, and I'm running around the house, and my mom's chasing me around the house, and she's swinging this leather belt at me and hitting the cross in my back and the back of my head and everything. And fine, we do like 2 loops around this house. The traffic comes to a stop. Everybody's looking out the window. I finally get to the front of the house, and somehow my feet just tangle up with this cross, and I fell on the porch. And like my hands are stretched out like this, and I'm looking right at my mom, and she is coming down hard as she can come down with that leather strap, and she is beating me on this cross. The traffic is like, what in the heck is going on at this house? I mean, there's nativity, and then there's this. My mom is wearing me completely out. Face, arms, lips. I mean, she's hitting me everywhere she can hit me until she finally stops. And I mean, I am beat up, and I'm crying. And golly, she walks in the house, and then 5 minutes later, she comes outside, and my legs are kind of side saddling this cross, and they're already hanging off, but my arms are still stuck in it. It was a horrible scene. And
Jimmy,
you
tell that story so well.
It was horrible.
Oh my God, that's a movie. I mean,
it's hard. I still go by that house in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Yeah.
The bricks on the front porch of that house has cement on it because my mom got drunk and drove her car around the house and ran over the porch. She was so funny, man.
Let me ask you something. Because we've been talking about this all week long on the show. Sheri and Lamar and I came from kind of tough backgrounds also.
You got to speak, though.
You got to speak. Yeah, he's right. How are you able to look back? And I guess part of it is your great success in the music industry and all. But how are you able to look back on those situations and in your heart smile?
Because you're smiling. And I know that sharing these stories helps people. And I believe that's why I love y'all's show so much. And I'm not blowing smoke, but I've been listening to y'all way before I moved to Nashville in 1998. I mean, I grew up listening, and I hate to sound like this, but I did grow up listening to y'all, and y'all always made people laugh. And I was like, man, I love that show. That Sheri, she wears that guy out. And I
Thank you.
I love that
you.
part. I know, man. I thought, man, could you imagine really arguing with her? You would lose.
Yeah.
You would lose.
Oh yeah, decades.
Yeah.
But
decades.
I was I mean, I've been very blessed, and just it wasn't always easy, but once I got helped, by this family that took me in when I was 16 and homeless. I mean, they just completely loved everything out of me, all that sadness and hate, and anger. They gave me so much love, and to be able to stand on stage at Madison Square Garden or come right here and hang out with y'all, and to be able to share those stories and make people laugh and smile and think and be inspired to help somebody. That's why I'm able to tell them and keep telling the same stories over and over and over with passion. Just
Yeah.
keep going, keep going.
Because we've always felt that if you come from kind of a Scrabble background, you go one of two ways. You're bitter, or you can step back at it and say, I can't believe I went through that bullshit.
I say that all the time. I mean, I really do. I say I one little small turn though, I wouldn't be here. And I'm just so thankful that I'm here, and I'm just very blessed to be able to go to, Boise, Idaho, or
Yeah.
Punta Gorda and share those stories and just
Right.
do what I do.
Right.
It's amazing.
Jimmy, sometimes people don't believe they can be it until they can see it. And I
Yeah.
think for a lot of kids who grew up the way you did, which was a lot rougher than me and Lamar. Me and Lamar have some stories, but I think when kids see that, when they see you, when they read Walk to Beautiful, they realize that it's possible, because if you can see it, you can be it. Sometimes that's the thing that crushes people. This feeling like maybe it's out there, but I've never seen anybody like me be able to accomplish it. And that's what
Yeah.
I think is part of the power of that.
Well, that is very true, and I do believe that little lack of believing in yourself, or that's why I tell people it's just so important to get involved and just give those kids a little bit of a helping hand, a little step up, because once they get on track and they're pretty resilient, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I had some help, so I know I wouldn't be here if I didn't have help. And there was a time I felt very hopeless. It's just So saw this guy in Boise. His name's Terry, and he worked 21 years in a juvenile detention center where they take in kids, juveniles. And he said until he had read Walk to Beautiful, he didn't see it from their perspective. And he said it just
Really?
changed. Yeah, he said it changed my whole life. He said I asked all my employees to read that book because it gave them a different perspective of, what the kid did is one thing, but where they come from, that might be a reason why they acted the way they acted, or
Sure.
could help
Sure.
them. It really could help them.
Let's tell, before we forget, let's tell everybody Walk to Beautiful is available. I guess Amazon would be the quickest.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
And
everywhere.
Multiple New York Times bestseller. And I do believe that's your guitar I see with you.
Yep.
You know what?
Are you going to sing?
Well, Bob wanted me to play a song that I didn't know. So I thought, man, I can't let him down, because he's just always been so good to me. So this is the very first time I literally just got off the road. I've been gone for a couple weeks, and so
you didn't do this for me.
I learned this song.
He asked me to play this song, so I'm going to try. If I mess up, don't worry about it. If we make it through December, everything's gonna be alright, I know. It's the coldest time of winter, and I shiver when I see the falling snow. If we make it through December, got plans to be in a warmer town come summertime, maybe even California. If we make it through December, I'll be fine.
Jimmy, I don't know what to say. The story behind, oh God, I'm so touched. The story behind the story is that my father went through an awful lot of stuff financially and started to come around after having gone broke. And I never talked to him about music, but I went to bring them their Christmas gifts that year. And I never pictured him somebody that listened very much to the radio. And he said, there's this song out there called If We Make It Through December that really touched me.
Wow.
And Thank you.
Wow. Absolutely. And I,
Thank you.
I, I worked on the verse. I got laid off down at the factory.
Right.
And there's times is not the and their time is not the greatest in the world. Heaven knows that I've been working hard. I wanted Christmas to be right for Daddy's girl. I don't mean to hate December. It's meant to be the happy time of year. And my little girl don't understand why Daddy can't afford no Christmas here. If we make it through December, everything's gonna be alright. It's the coldest time of winter, and I shiver when I see the fall and snow. If we make it through December, got plans to be in a warmer town come summertime. Maybe even California. If we make it through December, I'll be fine.
Oh. It's one of the most touching things anybody's ever done for me. Thank you.
I am so glad I did that,
Just-
Bob. Thanks for asking me, and I just I couldn't let you down, man. You've been so good to me for over 20 plus years, and I thought, you know what, least I can do is at least try. So
Thank you so much. I'm thinking thinking about my old man right now, and in a very, very positive way. It's a lovely song. Merle Haggard had the hit. It was a crossover hit. Went from country to pop music and did very well. And it just listening to it, I mean, the lyrics were getting laid off at the factory. I don't know if everybody listening has ever been in that type of a hard scrabble period in their life, but I have. Sheri has, Lamar has, and certainly you have. And it's just a touching song.
Yeah.
What's great about that song is it's like a lot of the really great classic country songs. It's one person's experience singing to many people's experience.
Right.
Because there are a lot of folks right now that are worried about making it through December. You know,
That's right.
It's
That's
that
exactly right.
timeless human storytelling.
You know, I heard, I don't know who it was. I think it was a producer, a Nashville producer once said, if you listen to our music, referring to country music, if you listen long enough, you'll hear your story.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true.
That's great. That's
I
true.
believe that.
It is
I mean,
true.
That's what I started out. I mean, I started out writing my story, and then I heard there was oh man, I don't know if I've ever shared this story with y'all, but when I was in high school back in Bessemer City, North Carolina, there was a prisoner who visited my school, Bessemer City High School, and it was around May, it was in May, and he got up on stage and he played a Christmas song, and I thought, why is this guy playing a Christmas song in May?
Right.
But this lyric was so good.
Mhm.
It just translated. It was so good. He got a standing ovation from everybody. And then that Saturday, I went to a yard sale in Bessemer City and bought my first guitar at a yard sale. It was leaning against the table for $40. And then I taught myself a few chords. So then I called the prison and I was like, I'd like to come over there and visit this prisoner who visited my school on a Think Smart program. Think Smart, stay off drugs, don't be like me. And they had him in handcuffs and shackles to make a big scene. And then
Yeah.
they took him off and he played. And every student was like, they couldn't believe that they brought this prisoner in there in handcuffs
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
then I said I'd like to come in and visit and learn from this guy. And the officer was there, the sergeant or whatever. He said, the warden. He says, we don't let people in. We put people in here. And I said, I finally talked to him and he said, okay, kid, listen, one time, you can come in one time. Well, I went in and I sat on the prison yard with this guy and he played a couple songs. And the next week I called again and they said, okay, come. And so I kept calling every week. And eventually I just started going over there every week. long story short, he gets out of prison. I never hear from him again. Like 20 something years goes by. I don't hear from this guy. I'm in my townhome here in Nashville, and it was it was before COVID, obviously. And I'm thinking about Christmas songs, and I'm thinking like, man, I wish that we could have some new Christmas songs and not remakes of Christmas songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why don't we just write some new, like that Christmas song that Prisoner wrote, something like that. And
Yeah.
then, so I went online and I was like, I'm going to look him up and see what he's doing, see where he's at. And so I typed in his name, and about 7 pages of his name showed up. I'm like, I'm never going to find this guy. In the top left corner, I dialed that phone number, and he picked up.
No.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
I said, Jody? He said, yeah. He said, I saw it was a Nashville number, and I picked up, but I'm at work, and I can't talk. So that's why he was whispering. I said, call me when you get off work. Fast forward. He calls me, and I said, man, it's been so long. I mean, what happened to you? Where'd you go? He said, well, I ended up back in prison, and I spent some time in the big house up in Raleigh. He said, but do you know what, Jimmy? He said, when I was laying in my cell, when they slammed that door and I was laying on my bunk in my cell, he said, I used to listen to you on the radio in my earphones in my bunk and think to myself, that kid is living my dream. I used to mentor him on the prison yard.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I said, so, I mean, you're obviously pushing 60. Chances of getting a record deal at that age is probably not going to happen. Right. Now, your dad's 80, 90 years old. Your mom's somewhere in Florida. What would be one wish, if you could have one wish to come true in the music business? Well, he said, I've never played on the Grand Ole Opry show. So I said, okay. Got off the phone with him. Fast forward, I called the general manager of the Opry and I said, hey, Pete, Jimmy here. I'm scheduled to perform 2 songs December 22nd. Can I give one of those slots to a friend of mine? He said, sure. I invited this guy to come to Nashville. He stepped out on stage at the Ryman Auditorium, stood in the circle, and he played that Christmas song that he played in my high school back in 1992 and got a grand standing ovation that simply wouldn't even stop. Talking about a full circle, man. It was unbelievable. I got a chance to tell everybody, this guy, the most unlikely hero that you could possibly imagine, was a prisoner. And he came out and he played that song. And unfortunately, we lost him during COVID. But, man, he was a talented guy. God,
Jimmy, what did the song sound like? Can you do just a little bit of it?
It's kind of like Merle Haggard. Wouldn't you know it's the first white Christmas in years? Would find me in a prison thinking about you, crying half frozen tears. But on this day, I couldn't find or have any better company than to share this time with the man who first loved me. He was born for days like this, something like that, for the ones who are and aren't missed, when this world forgets that you even exist. He was born for days like this. Jesus was born for days like this.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Oh man. I'm telling you, man.
Jimmy, you could be the star of a movie about that. That's the story. The only thing you need is an actress in a small town who's got a bookstore that's not doing well, but you come in.
Yeah. You know what? He was so talented, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy is just, he's one of those guys that, yeah, you there'll be a movie or something about him. I mean, anyway.
All right. So as we wrap up here, again, thank you very much for the Merle Haggard song. It was very touching. It's my favorite thing that's happened this season. What are you doing for Christmas?
Well, I've been traveling so much. I may just hang here in Nashville for couple of days, and I thought about renting a cabin and just going to the mountains and hanging out in the cabin by the fire.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Good.
just maybe.
That sounds pretty great.
Sounds pretty good.
I
Sounds
know
pretty
you've
good.
been hustling for weeks and weeks.
All right.
now.
Once again, talk about the name of the book. Talk about where people can see everything about Jimmy Wayne, where they can reach you, follow you, and figure out where you're going to be.
The easiest way is jimmywayne.com. But if you want the book Walk to Beautiful or the other 2 books, it's Amazon. You can go on Amazon. But all that information is on my website, jimmywayne.com.
Right. Right. God bless. Thank
God
you
bless
so
y'all.
much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
I cannot tell you how touched I was by that. I mean, that just absolutely blew my mind. All right. So you see in the background, there are a bunch of people and they want to come in and say hello. Mary, Colonel, come on in here. This is my very good friend, Colonel Gale, one of our neighbors. And she's here at Mary's Book Club. Let's see who else we get in. Come on.
Are we all coming in?
Yeah. I want all of the ladies in.
All the ladies in.
Mary,
Hey, I was on TV.
come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
They're all
Let's
too
go.
busy.
Let's go.
Oh.
How are you? Yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
About 40,000 people right now over here watching this. This is Mary's Book Club. Everybody say hi. You all having fun
Hey,
tonight?
hey,
Hey, Bob.
Cheers
We've
to
had
that.
a
What's
lot of
the name the
requests
book?
for the jingle sticks. Did Mary and her spicy friends do something awful to it?
This is the jingle stick. I like to give the jingle stick to women.
Have you seen my skirt?
Your jingle stick is.
Oh my God! Really? Oh,
Got jingles all over
right
it.
there
Sherry,
too.
I sent you a video of the food that I made.
Oh, I enjoyed the video very, very much. Save some of the little elf thingies for me, okay?
So Gail had everybody reading a book about World War II. What was the book that you chose to have everybody here?
The Stopover.
Oh,
One of your listeners suggested it.
really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a book about
It's
travel.
spicy.
Yeah,
Exciting things that can happen.
traveling
About,
down
you
your
know, coming
pants.
and going. Okay.
Okay, well, there's another jingle stick right there. Thank you all. God bless.
Pleasure to meet you, ladies.
See you. They're so funny.
We have something special for you now from Doc, whose house
Yeah.
we're at tonight for happy hour. Doc's beautiful Snoop Christmas tree that we're going to light here to
Yes.
kick off the official season.
All right.
And here comes Santa's little helper himself.
1 second.
Here, I'll get out of the way so you can.
Are we lighting the tree now?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
Just a minute. Oh, it's still.
Oh no, it's being slow.
Here we go.
Oh,
There we go.
Yay. So, and how do you?
The arrows.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, people have basically been wondering about me and want to know a little bit about me and my love life. So I figured I would give a wrap up. I've seen a bunch of these on TikTok and they're always like hilarious. So this is Doc's dating wrapped for 2023, and you'll be very surprised to know that. Let me see. Doc went on 0 dates or had 0 relationships in 2023.
No, not zero.
Absolutely 0. There are, just think about this. There are middle schoolers with more relationships than me. It's such a sad situation, but I'm unfazed. I'm unfazed. And of course, with 0 relationships also comes 0 dates in 2023.
Think of the money you saved, Doc. Think
Yeah.
of the money you
So I
saved.
was I'm trying to find the number. I think it's for millennials is about $700 a year that they spend on dates. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's some savings.
that's quite a bit. So the next thought is, I got to go back to this one. Why did Doc not date in 2023? And I gotta see this, but the number one reason is about 67%. Working for Bob and Sheri takes up too much time.
Once again, Sheri, we're to blame
Yep.
for others' unhappiness.
As always.
And that's followed a little bit loosely behind being too tired, too anxious, At 7%, I can't afford the therapy bill associated with dating. And then there's 3% for other. 26. So I technically am on a dating app, but I don't like do anything. I will occasionally like look in to see what's going on, but I don't actually engage with anyone. But 26 women swiped right on me in 2023. So there is a little bit of interest.
Excellent.
I'm just the problem.
We love honesty.
Total crushes in 2023 is 2, which is really weird because I don't really think about that stuff. Again, there's too much time dealing with Bob and Sheri and playing softball, so there's no time for anything.
Are they real?
I would like to suggest, if you
They're
do
real
want to become more involved, that maybe standing behind a tree with a sheep probably is.
If you're going to say 2 total crushes, don't have a picture
Yeah.
of a woman and a sheep. That's not.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do
That is
that.
very true. That is very true. And the average length of each crush is about 6 minutes.
That's because you're standing behind a tree with a sheep.
Yeah, the sheep and I.
Y'all not
become
going to
very
believe
close.
what I'm looking at out my window. There's a fire truck with Santa Claus on the top of the ladder truck going through my neighborhood.
Oh,
Is
how
that
cool
right?
is
Oh, no
that?
kidding.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, that's great.
All right, Doc, what's your name? Oh, when will
So
Doc
the
find
big
love?
question is, when am I going to find love? And there's quite a few calculations that need to be made. First of all, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, their alignment. The last time Punxsutawney Phil saw a shadow. If you divide that by the number of Bob and Sheri's Marconi nominations, multiply 8 Maids of Milking, and whether or not this is a leap year, then the total calculation of when you can expect for me to find love again will be in 2026.
Oh, that's not that far off.
That's not
No,
that
you
far
just have
off.
another
No,
$700.
that's
So stay
That's right.
tuned, and maybe in 2027 we'll have another Bob and Sheri live wedding.
Excellent.
He
Excellent.
said
Well
with real
done.
enthusiasm.
Well done. All right. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Look at the outfit
Oh
the
my
guy's got
goodness.
on.
Good
That's
job.
fantastic. All right, Sheri, I want you to take over for a minute because I got to calm these ladies down and get another glass of wine, and I'll be right back.
So once again, real quick, and then the mysterious Spaniard Tony's going to join us.
There he is.
Hello, everybody. How
Hey,
are we
Tony.
doing?
We have these enormous, Tony, tell them how big these giant gift boxes are.
They are 22 inches long. They are 12 inches wide. They are 6 inches high, and they're full of stuff. They're just full of really cool, fun stuff.
Great stuff. This cool cat Christmas pillow from Check Feather and Down, gorgeous jewelry from Landon Lacey Jewelry, yummy gingerbread scone mix from our buddy Veronica at the Scone Goddess. We have a sampler pack of Needhams from Maine Needhams, 5 children's books from Dina Bean Children's Books, and a guide to finding childcare, and a ton of Bob and Sheri swag, including Tony, the now sold out Bob and Sheri Christmas ornament.
The collector's item, they're going on the black market for about $10,000 an ornament.
Yeah,
So,
kind of what they're worth.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're probably worth twice that. But yeah, unfortunately, the manufacturer sold out of them. So we're done. But if you get one of these swag boxes, you're going to get one of them. You'll get a Bob and Sheri water bottle, and you'll get some other stuff that we threw in there.
Awesome.
So, Tone, have you, everyone, I think most people know who listen that Tony's a big train guy. So have you got the train set up around the Christmas tree yet?
You know what? We're behind. I hate to say it, the reason that you're seeing the back of my kitchen is that we have a living room full of boxes, and we're just behind. I haven't put up the tree yet. There is the board that goes under the tree that has the tracks on it, but no train, no tree, no nothing. Hopefully we're going to get to it this weekend. We'd like to get it done by Christmas Eve.
Which is always nice. Yeah.
We're optimistic we'll get that done, but it's just been it's been a busy month. We've had a bunch of stuff going on, and frankly, I've been a little lazy. So,
well,
do you have a room in your house that is strictly for the trains?
Yeah, we have. My lovely bride Donna was nice enough to cede me the small guest bedroom, and I've got it running along 2 walls of the guest bedroom, and then I've got sort of a work area on
My
the other.
my grandson is so enamored with trains; he would give anything to see that. So
I'll
I'm going
send.
to fly him out and let you take him for a week. How would that be?
Hey, that's fine.
He's 4.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures. I shot a video a couple days ago, and I'll.
Uh-huh.
But it's fun. It's fun. It keeps me out of the bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we are almost ready to light the official Bob and Sheri Christmas tree at Doc's house. As much as you hate tinsel, Bob, is this the tinsel you hate, or you hate the loose tinsel, or you just hate it all?
The loose strands. I don't like the loose strands. They cheapen
But you're
a
okay
tree.
with the garland
Yeah.
that Heather is putting on, and Heather and Doc are decorating?
Okay.
Lamar looks tonight like the guy that every woman wants to marry because
Oh yeah.
he's into it. He's upbeat. He's laughing. He's making jokes. He's not taking himself seriously. He's a part of the whole thing. That is what they want.
I'm a participator.
Yeah.
Participator.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That is all we want. And since you know that's all we want, why can't you just do it?
Well, I mean, I think guys do it in varying degrees. You know, Lamar is like the gold standard. He's going to be making the drinks, cooking on the grill, doing the whole thing, wearing the lights on the head. You know, you're either that guy or you're not. I mean,
you're going to go. If you're going to go. Don't go halfway. Don't half-ass it. Go.
Go all the way.
You said it, buddy. You're all in. You are all in.
I'm all in.
Well, we are just about ready to light the fabulous 2023 Bob and Sheri Christmas tree and call this a wrap on Happy Hour. Want to thank our elf for kicking us off, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus for calling in from the North Pole, our dear friend Jimmy Wayne, Max for his Santa letters. Tony, we're so glad you're here in your Santa hat, even though you still have boxes and no Christmas tree. Snoop is ready for his close-up. So let's do it. Help me count backward from 10. Ready?
Yep.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Y'all, however you celebrate, have the most wonderful holiday. We're not done. We're going to be right back on the regular Bob and Sheri show tomorrow. People's Movie Critic is reviewing Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. You ain't getting rid of us that easy.
Nope.
We'll see you on the regular show, and we're so thankful that you were able to join us tonight for our tree lighting happy hour.
I want to say just before we bail out that I hope everybody has a kind heart to everyone else. There's so much disagreement in our wonderful country. If we could all just kind of soften it a little bit and realize that some of the people before cameras are not really who we are. We are who we are. The lovely comments that I saw tonight, especially with Jimmy Wayne's song, which just I will never forget. That's really where Americans are. And I hope that in some way that we turn the corner and come to appreciate each other, even if we don't always agree with each other.
Well said. Well
And
said.
Bob, I sure hope you're safe in that house tonight, because I've seen what they're doing in that other room, and I'm worried, brother.
I'm locking the door.
Lock
right.
yourself up, Bob.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Y'all, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good night. Love
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Thank you.